That's why, if you have not watched the Victory Day parade in Beijing on September the 3rd, one of the weapons China demonstrated is a missile with all the warheads. We call it 61 because it can contain 60 nuclear warheads plus one hydrogen bomb. Now, in the world of today, let me tell you, which country has hydrogen bomb? China is the only country with hydrogen bomb. And that ICBM can cover every corner of the world in less than 20 minutes and destroy any target in any corner of the world without any possibility of being intercepted. I hope Washington has learned the lesson. They know, as I declared in my interview with Abrams of the United States, very distinguished American, I basically told him, if you want to have war, you will get war. If you want to destroy China, you will be destroyed. If you want to impose nuclear war on China, you will be wiped out by nuclear war. This is very serious. China's policy is very clear. China will not fire the first shot, but China will not allow you to fire the second shot.
China will not fire the first shot, but China will not allow you to fire the second. Those words came out calm, almost conversational, but there was no mistaking the meaning. Test us, and you will be stopped before you can finish what you started. He spoke as if listing a fact, not making a threat, as if the world should now rearrange its calculations around a new, cold certainty. Listen closely. He did not promise restraint because he feared consequences. He promised restraint because he believed the consequences of attacking China would be final and immediate. The parade on September 3rd was not a celebration only. It was a demonstration of capability. The missile he referenced, the DF-61, was shown like a verdict. Speed measured in minutes, payloads described in numbers that make defense systems look irrelevant. The implication is blunt. Any strike against China will not succeed in crippling China because China claims the means to stop the follow-up before it can land. You can feel the intended audience in every measured sentence. This is a message aimed squarely at capitals that contemplate coercion or intervention. It's a warning dressed as policy. We won't start the war, but if you try to break us, we will ensure your option to retaliate disappears. It's deterrence wrapped in menace, a promise of decisive, preemptive countermeasures in the narrowest, deadliest sense. There's a psychological shift here. For decades, doctrines about no first use suggested moral restraint or strategic caution. Now the rhetoric adds a new layer. Not merely we won't start, but we will neutralize your ability to continue. That changes the conversation from whether a war might begin to whether any aggressor could survive the very first moments of a confrontation. It's not only about weapons, it's about certainty and speed. In his calm voice, the math is simple. If your second strike will never reach us, then your calculus of acceptable risk collapses. Imagine the scene in an adversary's war room. The question is no longer only can we hurt them, but can we survive the immediate aftermath? When a nation believes its ability to respond will be removed almost instantaneously, restraint becomes less risky or more necessary, depending on where you stand. He's saying, push too far, and you will lose not only the battle, but the very capacity to answer. That tone, soft, precise, uncompromising, is the most dangerous part. It removes ambiguity. It leaves rivals with a chilling choice, back down or face consequences that are rapid and irreversible. It's a strategic ultimatum posed without theatrics, policy presented as inevitability. The question now is how others will react. Will they lean harder into deterrence of their own, hoping to rebuild the balance? Will they try to de-escalate and avoid tests that invite such a response? Or will the world slip into a more brittle, tense standoff where an error, a misread, or a technical glitch could trigger a chain reaction no one intended? He didn't shout. He didn't raise his voice. That's the point. The calmness carries the threat more effectively than fury ever could, because it suggests confidence, preparation, and the belief that once the order to neutralize a second strike is given, it will be done. Those words should be heard for what they are, a clear, cold warning to anyone thinking about using force against China. Not rhetoric, not bluster, a statement of strategic intent that reframes the risk of confronting a rising power. Make of it what you will, but don't pretend the message wasn't meant to be heard loud and clear.